You know, it's really great to be talking about Star Wars again. It feels just like yesterday, even though it's been 10 years since Episode 3 came out. And honestly, after Episode 3 ended, I thought that was it. I'm gonna get no more Star Wars in my life, aside from maybe a video game here or there or a comic book or whatnot. But no big feature films. And then in 2009, the Clone Wars movie came out, but that's... nobody remembers that. But it's finally here. Star Wars The Force Awakens, and man, what a good movie that was. It's such a good, warm feeling to finally see Star Wars back in the public eye. The cinema public eye, I should say. So, what did I like about Force Awakens? Well, nearly everything. First and foremost, the new characters. You have Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, Finn, played by John Boyega, Poe, played by Oscar Isaac, and the new bad guy, Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver. This new cast of characters breathes a hell of a lot new life into the series and really is just going to catapult these movies to super duper duper stardom. I especially like Daisy Ridley's character, Rey. She's the new proverbial Luke Skywalker, and she just really sells and just carries this movie. I really enjoyed watching her the most. The Force Awakens really feels new and familiar at the same time. Basically, if you look at the stormtroopers now, they look like they did in the original trilogy, but there's tiny little touch-ups here and there. And that's really what The Force Awakens feels like as a whole. It still has, the blaster noises that you're so familiar with, the and the lightsaber, and the TIE Fighter screeches, and the X-Wing that noise, but it's newer, it's touched up. It's really great to see, aside from the prequel movies that came out 10 and 15 years ago. Those were just big green screen movies. They didn't feel authentic at all, and Force Awakens really does, and crossing my fingers that the next 30 years of Star Wars movies feel just this good. The story behind The Force Awakens, which I won't get into spoilers, just so you know that I'm going to be talking about some character motivations and some ways the story progresses, but I won't be talking about plot points or anything like that. Nothing major. But still, if you're unsure, just, watch at your own discretion, and just see the movie anyway. I mean, come on, it's Star Wars. Oh, and what's really great is seeing the original cast return, especially Harrison Ford. He's really front and center in Force Awakens, and he just, the past few years, or more than a few years, but he's really felt, just dry and kind of bitter, and just, not caring towards any of his roles. But this is the first time in I can't remember how long he actually felt compelling when he acted. He really looked like he wanted to be there, as did Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. And Chewie, of course. But the story is a good J.J. Abrams affair. I mean, it's very, very bright and vibrant, really easy to follow along, and hooks you the whole way through and really feels human at the same time. Now, as for the flip side, I mean, I really liked Force Awakens, great movie, but there is a few things in there that I didn't like. Well, the biggest criticism it's getting is that it feels just like A New Hope, the very first Star Wars movie. Force Awakens follows A New Hope's story, pretty much beat by beat by beat. There's even a new Death Star at the end of Force Awakens, and I don't know, I mean, it's really a grand spectacle, and it's a lot of fun to watch, but I couldn't think of anything else. I mean, there's even a part in Force Awakens where they show the original Death Star, and then they show the new one, which is called the Star Killer, next to it, and it's 20 times the size. And it's just it's kind of like the writers are like, look, listen, we know what we're doing, but just, roll with us. It's bigger. And there is a lot that they leave off unanswered that we're obviously going to get answers for in the next few Star Wars movies, but I really would have liked it if they just kind of kept this a little more self-contained. I mean, were they really trying to plan sequels? Was it Disney breathing down J.J. Abrams' back and it's like, listen, you need to leave a lot of these questions unanswered for sequels? Or is it just lazy writing? They just didn't want to answer it and they're just like, we'll leave someone else, let someone else answer it. As I said earlier, all the characters are really great. Kylo Ren, the new villain, seems like the new Darth Vader, but there's really much more than that. I've never seen a villain with so much depth, literally right off the bat. I mean, you really feel for this guy by the end of the movie. I think the only character I'm still toying with, though, is Finn, who's played by John Boyega. Now, this isn't a spoiler because you see it in the trailer, but Finn is a stormtrooper who turns sides to the good side. And there's really not much explained as to why he turns good. He just, like a light switch, just decides to be good. I mean, there are a few things that happen, but the movie doesn't really go into depth as to why he decided to be good. I would have liked a little more explanation, maybe some, lines from Finn himself as to why, or maybe some more backstory as to why, but it's like he woke up one day and he's just like, I'm good. And I get that, he's against they're not the Empire anymore, they're called the First Order now, but I get that he's against the First Order killing innocent people, but he's okay with killing his own comrades? I mean, hypocritical to me. I mean, come on, Finn. Also, the other slight misstep is Captain Phasma, that really cool chrome stormtrooper that you see everywhere, played by Gwendolyn Christie of Game of Thrones fame. Now, going into Force Awakens, I thought Phasma was going to be like a very, formidable villain, but she's barely in the movie. She's in it for like maybe 10 seconds. The more I say her name is the more time Captain Phasma had on screen. And Kathleen Kennedy, and who's the producer, and the actress Gwendolyn Christie herself said Phasma was going to have a bigger role in Episode 8, but it's like, come on, you shoved this character down our throats, now we gotta wait 2 or maybe 3 years to actually see her? So, aside from weird character motivations, a very familiar plot which may rub some people the wrong way, and an underused character, Force Awakens is still a great movie. It's a really fun action, space, shooter, sci-fi, slightly romance, compelling Star Wars movie, and it's just so much fun to see Star Wars back in cinemas. I'm going to give Force Awakens a 9 out of 10. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Please follow me on Twitter at jgreen89, that's J-A-Y Green89, and also follow my podcast on Twitter, which is BlahBlahPod1, BLAHBLAHPOD, the number 1, where I post the link to my podcast called Blah Blah Podcast, and you should check it out too. My friends and I just, talk about the latest movie, entertainment news, what we've seen, what we liked, and make fun of things. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll like it. Thanks for watching, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I'm sorry if you're offended by that. Happy Holidays.